Do you cut that beginning shit out?
No.
Oh, whoops.
Hello and welcome to A Midwest Perspective. I'm your host, Dan Bognar, and once again, I'm joined by Mr. Tyler Tabat. This is becoming the Tyler Tabat, Danny Bognar show, which I am perfectly fine with. Before we started this, we were actually just talking about some current events going on. So at the time of recording this, it is Thursday, June 11th, 2020, and what a 2020 it has been. We're coming up on the halfway point, and I don't know if the second half is going to be able to top the first half, but I hope it really does not. It's been wild.
Well, halfway point, and now the stock market crashed again today.
And we're back in
the
it.
worst since March. March 12th or something, whenever the big one happened.
For real.
So...
yeah, it's very strange times. I was watching the news this morning, and it was weird. Like, all of a sudden, they had, interrupt, whatever was going on, and, went to a special broadcast where they were talking about, I don't remember who they were talking to. It was some lady from the White House. I don't know if she's, the economics director or Lord knows what. But she was talking about the unemployment rate and how, millions of people are on unemployment, and then they were talking about the stock market, and it's all due to the coronavirus, and states that are opening back up are seeing spikes in cases,
right,
in new cases, and so I think people are freaking out a little bit.
And I haven't actually read that. All I read, because I have a little bit in the stock market, I'm new, so I'm not going to talk like I know exactly what I'm doing, but
sure.
I was doing really well, and then today I watched it all plummet.
Dope.
So the first thing I Googled was, why is the stock market crashing? And all that pretty much came up was coronavirus articles, so maybe, I don't know, have you actually read something that says that it's dropping because of spikes?
I just heard that on the news. I don't know if that's the true reason. I'd imagine it is. I know... when those things happen, the market definitely gets a little volatile.
Sure.
I guarantee you it's going to bounce back in the next 2-3 days. Hopefully. But, I mean...
start taking Uber everywhere.
It'd be interesting. You got Uber staff?
Yep.
Nice.
I'm promoting it.
Oh, yeah.
Shamelessly.
Well. More of a Lyft guy myself.
You know what, Danny? I'm going to have to ask you to lift your ass out of here.
But no, it is very strange. And it was weird because a lot of states are reopening, and they showed a map of the states that have had increases. But the way that they described it kind of threw a little bit of a red flag in my head. They said these states, and they highlighted California, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Florida, and I think the Northeast, New York and Pennsylvania or something like that.
Sure.
And they said these states have seen an increase over X amount of percentage than what they saw over the last 2 weeks. And so it's well, wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
What does that mean? They didn't show any specific numbers or anything. They just highlighted these states in red and were panicked.
So no facts to back it, no stats to back?
Nothing. It's okay, did they go from 200 new cases to 250 new cases? Or did they go from 200 cases to 2,000 new cases? Which is a big, percentage difference.
Sure.
Obviously, but, both are big percentage differences technically. But there's a weird stat, and I definitely need to read into it a little more just to see exactly what's going on. All I know is Wisconsin was not one of those states.
Yeah, I think Wisconsin's doing pretty damn well right now, which, because I was one of the people when they started reopening, I was like, why are we doing this? This doesn't sound right, and then, well, that's when I was stocks. So I was all right, yeah, this is good.
You got to find something to fill the time for real.
Hell yeah, but yeah, I think we're just hovering right around 20,000 cases, and
Wisconsin.
that seems to be where it's sitting.
20,000 cases, but I know our deaths are minuscule. I want to say it's 250 or something like that. It's really, really small.
I think it's up there.
I might need to look.
I'm not gonna Google it. Yeah,
I'll
go
Google
for it, man.
Quick, but I want to say that our Wisconsin is really not all that bad. Um, Let me check this out. Wisconsin coronavirus. Let's see here. I mean, oh, it's in Milwaukee County. Wisconsin cases 21,926 confirmed, 682 deaths.
Okay.
So really, I don't know what that percentage is, but not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot.
Maybe 2-3%. But I do commend Wisconsin for the way that they are reopening. Well, how most places are reopening.
Yeah.
I have been to one bar, met Missy there after she got off of work, and like they took a lot of the tables out. They were saying like, yep, at most we'll be at 25% capacity. When we were in there, I think there's only 2 other couples that were there, so like nobody, and like we were all in like separate spots at the bar, and like it was totally chill.
Well, like, even I told you about the float tank place.
Mm-hmm.
When I went there, that was the first time that I've been, that was on Tuesday, so 2 days ago,
Mm-hmm.
I think. But first time I've actually done anything like paid for a leisure service or a recreational service since this whole thing happened.
Sure.
And they had masks, hand like,
The whole 9
though,
yards.
yeah, they had everything, and then they took your temp and everything before you went in there.
Oh, dang.
And they shut down some of like, because it's like a spa, so like after you do whatever, you're in your tank,
Right.
you can go like chill out with like tea, and they give you like snacks and shit.
Sure.
And I don't know, I usually enjoy that. That's pretty nice, the tea. But yeah, they shut that down, so it was kind of like once you were done, all right, you pay and get out. But
Dang.
you know, in abridged, I still got the main experience that I was going for. So
That's true.
yeah,
That
they're
is
definitely being safe
Cautious.
about it. Yeah.
Right. And that's, I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day, and, you know, people always talk like this is the new norm, so to speak. And it's like, well, maybe it is. Because at what point do you just say, like, screw it? Like, we're not going to be as sanitary. You know what I mean? And it's kind of a weird thought, but especially for something like that, where, you know, float tanks or massages or whatever, where, like, are they going to go to, like, not wearing masks and not touching stuff with gloves? Like,
Yeah. Well, I don't
know.
even think they were doing massages there. I think it was just the
that
tanks.
too. Yeah.
Because that was like, you know, you're not touching another person.
Right.
And I'm assuming based on how they scheduled me too, 2 hour minimum or maximum was what it was. So I'm assuming they're leaving time to go in and
Deep
sanitize
clean or-
everything.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't think you could do maybe they are doing massages with gloves.
Right.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Not a massage guy either way.
I've had one massage in my life, and it was wonderful.
You ask for a table shower,
I sure didn't.
your loss.
No, I was with Missy. Got it for us. We did like a couples massage right up the road here, and yeah, it was like an hour-long massage, and like I don't know, it was pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
It was the best sleep I think I've ever gotten afterwards.
That's yeah, when I was in rehab, you know, instead of working out, I would just go to the gym and get massages because I was so stressed out.
For real.
And yeah, same thing. You go right at the end of the day, go home, pass the fuck out. Well, yeah, go back to the hospital and pass the fuck out.
Sure,
But either
sure.
way, it was super nice.
Oh yeah. But no, speaking of the reopening stuff, I actually wanted to talk to my brother because he lives downtown Milwaukee, like right off of, you know, the main strip of bars and nightlife and clubs or whatever.
Sure.
And it's like, I don't know, I wonder how that is. You know what I mean? Like, are there people just waiting in line outside?
It's probably full of protesters, I would imagine.
Oh, that's true. That's
you
very
know,
true.
I think that's kind of the main. I don't know. I've been trying to avoid the news lately. Really, I have. But you know, there's a lot of tragedy going on. I would imagine that there's a lot of protesting. Maybe businesses closed for that too,
True.
which is kind of tough. But
True.
at least it doesn't seem like the protesters in Milwaukee are the ones being violent. You got that one issue with the cop putting his knee on the neck and the bike's blocking the camera,
Sure.
which I think I read that guy's fucked.
Yeah.
Thank God. You know,
I
but
don't doubt it. Yeah.
And then there was another thing I read, but for the most part, I think everything's going good.
In Milwaukee, I think they're pretty civil about it. It's protests, it's not riots, which is good.
Right.
However, I mean, I'm not one to go out on the freeway and protest there. I don't know what that accomplishes. And I know that happened in Milwaukee, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. And that's like, whoa, wait a minute. That's not cool. But
Yeah.
I don't think they destroyed any businesses or anything that I have heard of.
I don't think so either.
Not like in Minneapolis.
Bro, you hear Minneapolis disband the police department? That's what they're trying to pass right now.
That's what they're trying.
Oh,
Dude, they showed
that's a new lifestyle.
Dude, they showed a picture of, I think it was, the Minneapolis Police Department, like downtown Minneapolis, and kind of like what it looks like. I shit you not. You know those giant concrete barricades? Like,
Yeah.
they had those stacked too high all around the building with barbed wire and like big sandbags. It looked like a bunker.
I mean, at this point, that's
wild.
what they need.
Yeah.
It's just
that building would be burnt down.
It's crazy when you get enough people. Well, what you can actually do,
Oh my gosh.
they have backed their police department into a hole.
For real.
For
real. I have seen a few videos online, and I think it's kind of cool of like, there's cops or, security at least, kind of standing by. Like, they're totally cool with the protest. Like, you do your thing. And I've seen it where, like, one guy is, like, trying to be violent or, like, light things on fire or, like, you can tell he's got something in his hand, like a Molotov cocktail or something like that. And these guys just swarm him. And, like, the protesters, like, realize what's going on and, like, applaud and are like, thank you. Like, we don't want that stigma to be, like, what we're trying to do here.
Well, and I'm sure based on whatever news outlet you choose to get your garbage from, you'll get one. You'll get one direction or the other.
That's very true.
Either the cops suck or the protesters suck, and it's really fucking petty in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, why can't people just look at what actually happened and use some critical thinking to realize that that's fucked up?
Right.
Right. And then act accordingly. I don't know. Emotions.
Fox 6 or CNBC or not CNBC, CNN just yelling at me.
Yeah.
This is the news that you need to hear. This is what you should believe. It's like, well, wait a minute.
Molly, I told her she should come talk about walking. She did like a protest in Waukesha.
Did she?
Yeah.
That's good.
And I guess she was all stoked about making signs and whatnot for it.
Nice.
And then her sisters were going to come, but then her sisters bailed on her or something.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and then last minute she ended up showing up to one. She said it was really, actually, a pretty cool experience, all things considered.
I mean, I can imagine.
Everybody's there chanting the same thing.
I mean, chanting, you probably get a lot of different perspectives and a lot of cool stories that come out of it as well. And, like, I mean, we're both white men. Let's be real here.
No.
We're, well, yeah, people are listening. We are both
steady.
But, no, I mean, I have never had any sort of racial injustice against me. I cannot relate to that. I feel like I've never done that to anybody either. I hope to God I haven't. But, I mean, some of these stories and the stuff that people are sharing, it's like, whoa, like, that is a real thing. Like, even as simple as I saw a video, it was a black guy talking, and he's like, even just the subtle things, like not holding the elevator or not holding a door, or like just those little nuanced things where you can kind of tell, like, oh, they're not comfortable with me.
You feel like you're getting some shade thrown your way.
Exactly. And
that's, to experience that daily has got to be fucking rough.
Right.
Because, like, this isn't like I don't know, I'm not upset about this, but I experienced something where people were judging me for being white.
Sure.
And it's, again, I'm not it was just it was like I earned a life tile. I saw something from the perspective of minorities when I was in boot camp.
Sure.
I went with a lot of kids from inner city Chicago because we were the Chicago Bulls division.
Sure.
And we got sworn in halftime of a Bulls game, and it was like a big thing that it was kind of, you know,
They made a.
it was a show of the Navy. I don't know. It was just a display that they were doing. They swore us in. We marched around. Didn't even know how to fucking march at that point because it was before we went to boot camp.
Right.
So, like, they took us to some gymnasium, and we had to, like, they,
Learn
like,
how to
lined
walk
us
in
up.
formation,
And it's a bunch of idiots. Like, just a bunch of dumb kids who didn't understand the concept of start on your left, end on your right, repeat. Like, that's all marching is. But, so this is maybe a week into boot camp, 2 weeks or whatever. There's this guy, and I can't remember his first name, but his last name was Thomas. Black dude, really cool, really smooth too. We used to just kind of bullshit around, and there was one day that I tried to kind of joke with another dude in the division. I can't remember what I said or what it was, or even if it was just something simple, like you were saying, like a common courtesy or a social norm.
Sure.
And I looked at Thomas and I was like, hey, man, what did I say something wrong? And he was like, no, you got to understand where we're from. A lot of times when white people show up, you know, near us, it's all about race and discrimination. And I was like, holy fuck, you know, that's not me, dude.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And it was just one of those things where I had to understand where I was and, you know, where they came from. I don't know.
Sure.
Some worldly experience, if you will.
No, for real. That's, I mean...
And by the end of
good
boot
stuff.
camp,
Yeah.
everybody was tight. I mean, I still talk to a lot of those people.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, so
That's, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all going through this thing called life together. So,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I say, who cares what you look like, what you talk, what, like anything. It's, I don't know. Just don't bother me. I'm not going to bother you. And we're going to be fine.
Danny, I think even if somebody bothered you, you wouldn't bother them.
That's true.
You'd find a way out. You're very passive, dude. You're very passive.
That is true. That is very true. But I don't know. I do hope that something comes out of these protests. Some sort of, I don't even know.
I think stuff's already happening. My favorite, like, most powerful images that I've seen are the ones where the cops are kneeling for the protesters.
Sure.
I think that's really cool.
That is cool.
You know, it's respect, and I don't think anybody is going to walk up and slug a cop on his knees while they're trying to, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that is a true passive display of, like, you know, we respect you,
Right.
and we understand, you know, because it's one of those things where, like, the 2% always fuck it up for the 98%.
Yeah.
So not all cops are bad.
No, definitely not.
You know, it
Definitely not. And that's something I was going to say is that I used to work with a guy, I won't say his name, but he's a police officer now for Germantown.
oh, no shit.
And yeah, he was, I mean, passionate about it. But he was passionate about it in that he wanted to serve his community. And that's like his, like, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to help my community.
I always say
This
cops
is-
are community service for the entire community.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
you're running. You're running a complaint department for your town, or just a general service department.
Right, right. And it sucks because, like, yeah, now him wearing the badge, that's kind of got a tarnish on it, so to speak. And people are going to kind of look twice at that and be like, well, wait a minute, you know, he's
I don't
a
know.
cop or have some sort of...
Maybe that kind of reluctancy would be beneficial in a traffic stop. You know, okay,
Well,
this is a cop who's pulling me over or whatever the hell's going on.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna approach this as professionally as I can, and maybe the cop will do the same.
Right.
You know, because
Right.
all that is, man, when, like, I don't know, I think all police brutality boils down to is just a struggle for fucking power.
Oh, yeah.
It's little dick syndrome.
Oh,
you know, I'm in a position of authority. You listen to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no, bro. Like, you're in a position of responsibility, not authority.
Right.
And it's up to you to uphold whatever code of conduct you're
Right.
sworn to uphold,
Right.
And I think that's fucking, yeah, I think it's just all little dick syndrome.
I totally agree. And that is something that, I mean, I know they're trying to change, is have some more accountability for police officers and their traffic arrests, or have like a progression of like, this is how a situation escalates, this is how you try and de-escalate it, but if it continues to escalate, this is what you can do. I mean, it's like it's even like concealed carry. Like, you can't shoot somebody if they're coming at you with their fists. Like,
Sure.
you need to, I forget what it's called, but it's like the escalation of the threat or whatever,
Yeah.
where you have to match the threat, but once you surpass it, then you are kind of in the wrong in a court of law. And I think that's good. And
Well, see, and I wonder if cops run on that. I don't know, so I don't know, but I know like in the military, it's the deadly force triangle.
Sure.
And it's like 3 things. They have to have like intent, ability, and capability. I don't know what the 3
Sure.
actually are, but if you have 2 of the 3, you're allowed to shoot.
Oh, dang.
So that's like how that works. And that's where if civilians with concealed carry are supposed to meet the proper level of force with the level of threat, or use the proper level of force for the level of threat. You get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But and then cops are supposed to use the deadly force triangle. Maybe that's a little too quick.
Right.
I don't know. So like Jesus Christ, disbanding the police department.
Yeah.
I
don't understand that at all, to be honest with you.
Because I was just going to say, well, maybe there's a way, that cops can be retrained, and then I was thinking, well, if, they're getting rid of the police department, rehabilitation in Minneapolis? Could that be the new wave?
Who knows? I have no idea. I don't know how that's going to
social workers talking to people.
I really don't know. Because, I mean, in my mind, like, if you disband the police department, it's going to turn into a Wild West.
Would it, though?
I mean...
Or is it kind of like my favorite thing to say all the time is about The Purge? When those movies came out, how much I hated them.
Sure.
If there were no laws for 30 days, don't you think after maybe 2 weeks somebody would go, why are we being idiots?
Sure.
Wouldn't there be a majority there that might, I don't know, maybe that's a tough one to be devil's advocate for, because people go crazy without police or with police.
And I'm thinking on a pretty basic level, let's just say traffic stops. If you don't have police and you're going on the freeway, are you going the speed limit or within the threshold?
You know what, man? I'm flying.
Exactly.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I'm going 100
Dude,
miles
that
an
is
hour.
so
I am swerving.
true.
I don't care. If I know there's nobody out there, we're golden.
I'm flying. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm going to Illinois for that legal weed. I'm flying all the way back to Wisconsin. Holy shit. Yeah, if there's no cops.
And I mean, even in, let's say, the city, do you think, I seen it in Milwaukee. People don't stop for red lights. Do you think that's going to happen then?
Yeah, but I've seen it in Milwaukee right in front of the police station.
That's true.
Where people don't stop and nothing happens because they got other things to worry about.
That's true. See, and that's where it kind of, I don't know, it worries me. Because if you're asking the public to, I guess, I don't know what the right word is, patrol themselves, how does one patrol somebody else? Citizens arrest? Or is there just going to be cameras everywhere and you'll just get a ticket in the mail?
Eagle eye.
And it's like, oh, we saw you speeding.
We
didn't pull you over, but you didn't have an interaction with another person or with a cop. But here's your citation. You owe the public money.
Yeah.
Really, it's just going back into the public. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I could definitely see, maybe defunding the police a little bit and put those
What's the
funds
difference?
elsewhere. Disbanding means there's no police. Defunding means they can't buy all new stuff, I guess.
The latest and greatest.
The
How
latest
does that?
and greatest.
Okay, so then
Well, look it up.
me being
'cause
stupid.
I guarantee you, in a lot of communities and in a lot of counties, the police get more money than schools.
I do think that's true.
So by defunding, you just decrease their funds, and you can reallocate those elsewhere within the community.
Okay.
What does that mean as far as
I mean,
what the police are
you know
able to
what?
do or what they're buying?
I've always said, like, in poorer communities, like, pump the money into education, you know,
Yeah.
because you raise smart kids, you're going to have a well-informed future, you know, that's...
Right. And I don't even know if it's about raising smart kids. It's, I mean, as a kid...
You don't think kindness is a level of intelligence in some way?
Well, I think it definitely is. But what I'm kind of thinking is if you do fund these schools and all of a sudden they're able to afford more after-school programs or able to afford, you know, even tutors or,
Sure.
you know, different classrooms or technology within the classrooms to help them learn or, you know, extracurriculars.
Right.
That would be extremely beneficial. You know, I think
I could
an
get down with
education, I
defunding.
think, yeah.
But
I also think you need to pay teachers more as well.
what if that means that then cops are going to have to arrest more people in order to make up for a lack of funds? Where does that, when I get pulled over for something stupid,
Yeah,
where does my ticket money go?
that's a good question. I really don't.
Shows
have
how
a
little I know. I just know it
educated-
sucks
yeah.
to pay.
It goes somewhere.
All right.
It goes
Well,
to fixing the roads.
never
I
mind
don't
then.
know. True. I don't know.
You know, if that would just cause them to have to, you know, like there's that, and I don't know if it's an old wives' tale, but about how cops need to meet their quotas.
Right.
So at the beginning of the month, that's when you're more likely, or at the end of the month, you're more likely to get
yeah.
stopped. You know, which I always think about it, like when I'm flying somewhere. You know,
Right.
so I'm like, oh shit, you know, it's the 22nd. I better be careful. Like they're looking for
For
me.
real.
But-
I always think that too, and then all of a sudden, like you at least you think you see more cops
Yeah,
than what you normally
for
would.
real though, or they're sitting in like shadier spots trying to catch you.
For real.
You know, like there's always a cop here, but you know, he's on the other side of the road today. Like you're normally looking for him.
For real. No,
Yeah.
I know when I used to have to go to work.
Yeah,
instead
for
of
real.
work from home. When I used to have to drive up to West Bend, yeah, there's a few bridges that like you could tell like, oh, it's the end of the month. There's a cop on top. Just
They're hiding,
radar,
yeah.
and then there'd be a cop like half a mile down the road.
Oh, no shit.
Just waiting as well, and like, oh, we got him. Like, we got you on clock going 115, and then they're just calling out, yeah, the man in the silver Hyundai, get him. But I don't know. I really don't know how all that works, or what defunding or what disbanding is going to look like.
How about this? When are you going back to work? Do you know yet?
I mean, I've been working.
Well, no, but I know you've been working, but I mean, when you're actually going into the office.
I could go
or-
in tomorrow if I wanted to.
Really?
Sure. Office is open.
Oh, so you've been working from home by choice now?
It's yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. No, they said at my office, and there's only a handful of people that are actually in the office. I think we
Yeah.
just opened it on June 5th, so it's been just over a week, almost 2 weeks. But they said, you know, if you want to come into the office, you're more than welcome. There's hand sanitizers everywhere. There's, you know, make sure you're keeping safe. But if you don't feel comfortable coming into the office, we have proven as a company, and especially my department, because we're a lot more support than actual production, so to speak. And my boss was like, you know, you guys have proven yourself that you haven't skipped a beat. Like, you're
Yeah.
getting even more work done than what you were. And so he's like, I really don't care if you come to the office or not.
Okay, well.
I know they are looking at making like contracts and like, hey, if you are working from home, this is what it looks like. You need to hit these measurables or whatever.
Okay,
Otherwise, we need
okay.
you to come back to the office. Otherwise,
So if you're slacking, you got to come back into school. Yeah,
pretty
okay.
much, yeah.
Or work, not school.
Otherwise, I know I told my boss that, because he went around, he's like, we're going to be the guinea pigs for the whole company. So if you had your perfect schedule of like working from home or coming into the office, like what would that look like?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I mean, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I literally have 0 meetings. Like I don't need to interact with anybody. That's when I just get the bulk of my work done. But then Thursday, Friday is when I have the majority of my meetings. And it's like, well, if I'm going to come in on any days, it'd probably be Thursday, Friday to be in person in these meetings.
Yeah.
Versus Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday when it's like I'm just going to be sitting at my desk anyways. Like, what's the difference? But
That's nice that you got options.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, as of now, and from what it sounded like, we just had a meeting today. It sounds like probably until like September, October, it'll just be full time from home. He's like, you guys always have the option to come in, but like, meh.
Do what you got to do. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like I work really well from home and like stay focused. I really don't get distracted really by much at all. If I do, it's like, oh, I'm going to go empty the dishwasher or something.
You ever
quick.
show up late while you're at home?
Never. I actually have not.
I wonder how many people have shown up late.
Shown up late for
Working at home. Like,
for real.
just can't make it.
I know. Those stairs are so daunting. No, for real. That is kind of the nice thing, though, is to be able to roll out of bed. I can have my coffee, watch a little bit of the news or some TV in the morning, and then it's like, oh, that's,
Dude,
I'm at my desk.
Creature of habit every morning. Walk straight to the coffee pot, start that.
Yeah.
Defrost all my food that I'm about to make. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I got to have a morning. News gets turned on.
Seeing that's, me as well. And
laptop gets opened.
Yeah, I usually have a bowl of cereal, cup of coffee, and watch CBS News has Your World in 90 Seconds. And it's just like the top stories of whatever is happening in the world. Otherwise, and that's at 7 o'clock on the dot. But if I do end up getting up early, the local news on CBS is actually pretty geeked. They used to have this lady. Her name's Pauline Lee. She's still a lady. Or she's obviously still a lady, but she's still on the news. And it was funny. For the longest time, when we first moved in here, they would have her. She was like a field reporter. So she'd be at like in Cedarburg at Harvest Fest or at State Fair or wherever, and like at a pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
And like they'd always have her like doing some crazy things. Like, were you with us when we went to go get pumpkins? Yeah.
Nope.
No? Dang. Well, she was there. Not when we went there, but she was at that same pumpkin patch because they had pumpkin bowling. And they showed her on the news doing pumpkin bowling. They'd show her at, like, the Admirals games getting slingshot across the ice.
Oh, wow. So she was just a stuntman for the morning news.
Pretty much. Except she's just this, like, tiny Asian lady. And I don't know. I always like to watch her. But then one day, one of the anchors ended up leaving. I don't know if she got an evening spot or went to a different station or whatever. But Pauline, my girl, is now the anchor on the morning news. So I got to watch the transition.
I'm glad you get to watch your girl flower into a beautiful news anchor.
She's coming up. Hopefully I'll meet her someday.
Hey, I watched the first 3 episodes of Dark.
Pretty good, right?
Fucking amazing. It's like Stranger Things, but what is it, Germany or Russia?
German.
It's Germany?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like Stranger Things in German.
Oh, just wait.
But
it gets wild.
Does it?
Wild.
Okay, yeah, because I'm still like... I'm in the point where I have no idea what's going on, but they just keep throwing stuff at you.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, that's happening here while that's happening over there.
Okay,
this is going on.
One of the hard things is following the characters, and I don't know how far you are. I don't know what episode 3 is. I don't want to spoil
You'll
anything.
spoil shit if you talk too much. But basically, the last thing I saw was... it's a little Asian kid's name. Giannis.
Asian kid.
He's got like super straight black hair. It's a little boy.
Oh,
It's super early,
yeah.
man. I'm like 3 episodes in.
Giannis or yeah.
Giannis, I think. Yeah, he got abducted by somebody. I don't know what it was, but
Yeah, he's gone.
yeah, exactly. That's the last one I watched, and I was like, all right, gonna go to Danny's place.
Dude,
But
it'll suck you in. I need to watch
also
it again because season 3 is coming out at the end of June.
yeah, when you watched it? Did they have it because like it's all in German or a foreign language? And I think you told me that it wasn't dubbed, but now there's an English dub too for it.
No, I watched it.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It must be a different show because I thought I tried to watch Dark, but I can do subtitles, but man, do I like to just listen sometimes. Yeah. It's nice to not have to read the entire time you're watching something.
Yeah.
So, and I'm okay with even the way Netflix does all their dubs for like that show Money Heist, which I'm so mad
as well.
They changed the name. It used to be La Casa de Papel, which is Paper House.
Yeah.
But now it's Money Heist. I don't know.
That's Americanized it.
Yeah, really. It's almost like they had to get it out there. Like they're like, all right, this isn't moving fast enough.
For real.
I don't know, but that was a good show too.
I need to watch that show. I think I watched the first. I don't even know how many episodes, but yeah, that was like.
I watched the whole first season at your place in Cedarburg.
Really?
Yeah, with Luke.
I watched the full. Oh yeah, you and Luke watched it. I was gonna say, I know I caught a few episodes here and there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that show's good. Dark though is phenomenal. You'll be once you get into it and you realize what's going on, and you'll be like, wait a minute, what the hell?
I feel like it's gonna take a hot minute to know what's actually going on.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah.
That is the one thing about that show though, is there is a lot of characters. Like it literally is like the whole town.
Well, and like so far it's just a lot of interesting build up.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But I did start it.
That's good stuff. I watched a little bit of season 2 and I need to rewatch that and get ready for season 3. That's for sure. So I think season 3 is gonna be the final season, if I'm not mistaken.
You know what I want to come back?
What's that?
Black Mirror.
Did you hear why they're not putting out episodes?
Okay, I didn't know this.
They said
there's a controversy behind this?
Not a controversy,
what?
But the creator said, or the writers or whatever said, that the world we're living in right now, they don't want to, like, they can't really put anything out to, like, top it.
Really?
With like the pandemic and like everything, yeah, they're like, we are just gonna take a step back
to top it, or they don't want to be like politically incorrect and like.
I think it's to like.
It's literally just they think there's enough
Black Mirror episode.
There's too much weird shit going on right now, so like they're just pumping the brakes.
Like, yeah, we're gonna take a step back and we'll let the world run out.
Let the simulation play through.
Exactly.
I mean, that's fair. I thought when you said, did you hear what happened? I thought you were going to tell me people were like going crazy because they were watching these episodes or something. Because there's a couple that really, really hit you in some weird places.
There's a few that have sort of came true. Well,
yeah, and I like how unpredictable they are, and then they're also like seemingly possible too. You know, except for the last season. Last season was stupid.
With Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, it was like 3 episodes, and then they were done.
I didn't like that one either. I also didn't watch the movie. There's some
the Bandersnatch or Banshee.
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
I never did that. It's like, that's too much work.
I don't know. It's kind of like Goosebumps, man.
That's true.
Reader beware, you choose the scare.
For real. No, me and Missy have actually been watching. It's on Hulu. I think it's called High Point or something like that. I think it's called High Point, but it's like, I guess, like Castle Times. Renaissance times.
Okay, sure. Medieval.
Except they talk like modern times. And it's like, it's just hilarious.
I think
It is
Luke and
absolutely
Elise are all
hilarious.
over that.
Oh, it is so funny.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, yeah, they're just dropping F words and like, damn, you smell like a donkey's ass. Like, I don't know. Just the stuff that they do is just out of this world. It's super funny. We also just watched, I don't know if you've seen the movie. It recently came out called Invisible Man.
Invisible Man. Mm-mm.
That was, I could literally feel my blood pressure raising.
Really?
The movie. Yeah.
Suspenseful?
Thriller, suspense, yeah. You kind of knew what was going to happen and like what was going on, but like, I don't know. The way they did it was very, very, very
What's
good.
it on? Because I'll watch that tonight.
We just Redboxed it.
Oh, shit. Because I've been staying up later and later because third shift starts on Sunday, so
True.
it's kind of like my routine. Like, watch something, go for a walk, keep my ass awake
Yeah.
so I can pass out around 5 a.m.
Damn.
Yeah.
Are you ready to make the switch?
After this weekend, I will be. I've just been shifting my sleep schedule because
A little later.
furloughed all
later.
week,
True.
so just later and later, which
Dang.
is stupid because last night I went to bed at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I still woke up at 9.
Right.
Like,
Right.
just mad about it.
Dang. So that first week, I guess you'd have to work a whole week, right? Yeah. So you work Sunday through Thursday?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, Danny, I have to work a full week. My boss doesn't
don't
give me
know.
choices like
I don't know
you.
if it's like,
with your
work
little,
a day,
come
then
in
you're
or
off
don't.
a day, work a day. I don't know.
Hell no.
That's what Missy's a little worried. She has to, her work is going to 12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
And so I think her 7 days on, 7 days off thing is no more.
Exnade.
But 12-hour shifts, you only work 3 days out of the week. But she's worried how it actually works. She's like, I'd rather just have it be like day after day after day.
Yeah.
Rather
3
than,
days
like,
consecutively.
Work a day, you're off 2 days, work 2 days, you're off 3 days, whatever it may be. But we'll see what that's all about. I don't know if I could do that. I guess I kind of almost work 12 hours today.
Good on you.
Yeah,
That's why your
it's
boss doesn't want you to come in.
7 to 6. See, well, and that's weirdly enough, like, honestly, it's so easy to be like, oh yeah, I need to do this, or like have a thought, and it's like, oh, I should like just jot that down, or like go do that quick.
Yeah.
And it's as easy as just doing it. Like, I don't know, it is really nice. And to be honest, I think a lot of businesses are going towards that. I know Twitter, I believe it was Twitter, their whole staff is 100% remote now.
Well, what the hell does it take to work at Twitter? You're probably sitting in front of a computer anyway all day.
Exactly. You're coding, and
Yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah, I would imagine a lot of like cyber services are fully at home,
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have internet access,
or even like
you're good.
call centers and shit.
Right.
You know.
Right. I know my brother is fully from home as well now.
What does he do? Sales, right?
He's in sales, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess his office was like, yeah, you can either have a desk or work from home, and we'll just have like open community desks if you ever do want to like come to the office for whatever reason to like dock your laptop and work from the office.
Okay.
But they're like, you're not going to be guaranteed a desk. Like, you don't have your spot.
Well, then why go in? Yeah.
Right. And that's,
Set yourself at home.
right. And
Or set yourself up.
that's something that I think it was actually a blessing in disguise for my work, because we were filling up and growing so fast that we were actually looking at building a whole nother building. And now that we've proven ourselves as a company that we can work from home and have been, profitable and doing a lot of work, is that they're not going to build another office.
Well, no.
They're telling teams to like, yeah, you can just stay and work from home. Like, we'll use the office space for something else.
Right.
And so that was a $20 million savings.
I was just thinking that. I was like, okay, yeah, and you no longer, all that money you budgeted for building this new structure, yeah, now that's all just back in your company's pocket.
Don't need it. Exactly.
That's sick.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see, especially as companies do more move toward this. I know, talking to Conrad, because he's in construction,
Yeah.
and he's like, if more companies go to working from home or not needing an office, he's like, where's the buildings? There's no overhead. You just, here's your laptop, here's your computer, and you're good.
Oh, shit.
As long as you have an internet connection. So he was saying, like, it'll be interesting to see what happens to buildings.
Right.
And that, are they going to go vacant? Are they going to stop building new buildings and just remodel the old ones for whatever they need?
Well,
I don't know.
You would think that there's always going to be a demand for some sort of new structure or renovation, or
I mean, yeah,
because if you
Most
got
definitely.
you got commercial structures, which would be like your grocery stores and shit,
Right,
business. So there's your offices.
right.
Well, I guess and hospitals would kind of fall in there, and then residential stuff.
True.
So
True.
if you're really only losing the business side.
True. No, he was thinking radically, but yeah, he did pose an interesting thing.
I don't know. It's
Just
something
like, I
you never
guess
know.
New development for the commercial is maybe going to slow down.
We're
Who
living in a
knows?
Black Mirror episode.
We are.
Everybody thought coronavirus was started by 5G.
Might be.
Yeah, right.
No, there's no way. That 5G thing freaks me out, though.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm all for it. Innovation, baby.
I mean, innovation, and I don't know the validity of any of this, but people that are living near these towers are, like, getting super sick with, like, radiation poisoning, and, like,
I
these
didn't know
towers
that.
are, like, leaking radiation. Yeah, their signal is, like, that strong or whatever,
Yeah.
where it's, like, actually, like, interfering with people. And I don't know if it's doing anything to, like, wildlife, but that would be a huge cause for concern, because
Okay, yeah, I always support the environment. So if it's doing something to the environment, then we got to check that out. But
which, I mean, I really don't know. I don't know if there's any studies that have been done, or if, what is that giant communications company? I can't think of it. It's like the parent company to, like, Time Warner Cable and, like, Spectrum Internet.
oh, okay.
Viacom?
I don't know.
I think it's Viacom.
Yeah.
That sounds right. But who knows if they're just throwing money at it and then are, like, shutting everybody up as well. You never know.
I wouldn't put it past them.
But I don't know.
Like-
That'd be a scary thought if it is doing something to the environment.
Oh, hell yeah.
Affecting the animals, or, like, disrupting their migration patterns, or who knows what. I don't know. Especially those cell towers are usually in, like, remote areas. And they're,
Right.
like, in the forest.
Well, like the big thing on that whole 5G started COVID
No.
was supposedly that wherever COVID came from, there was like a plethora of the 5G towers, and it was like the epicenter for 5G.
Really?
Yeah, so that was like the big. I don't know. I don't buy it. That's just like people who say they're allergic to electricity or whatever.
Sure.
I don't know, man. I think there's something else going on.
I agree.
But
I did see, it was on the news this morning as well. That was good news this morning. I will say that. But they were showing how satellites have been predicting, not predicting, but showing where, like, the epicenters of the coronavirus are.
yeah,
And I guess there's been satellite imagery that has been released or has been taken that showed that China knew how detrimental the coronavirus was before they released it to the rest of the world, or, like, warned the rest of the world.
yeah,
Just because they had, like, satellite imagery of these, like, emergency hospitals just being built. They had imagery of, like, graves being built
wow.
and dug, and, like,
what,
had
months
pictures.
before?
They showed, like, a mountain of this, like, white powder, and the guy's like, I think this was in the Middle East, And the reporter was like, most likely that's lye.
Okay, so yeah.
You pour it on the bodies and they don't spread diseases or whatever.
Well, yeah. It's a strong base that eats away human flesh, so you're covering all that up, or organic material.
Yeah. And he's like, we never knew about this before it came to the United States.
Yeah.
But had the United States seen this, or anybody seen this, or, warned about it, who knows what could have happened to help prevent it. I don't think there's any preventing it, to be honest.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I mean, I can imagine that if we would have done something sooner, maybe it would have been tapered off a little quicker. We don't know. Are we at the end? We started this whole thing by saying stock market crash today.
Yeah.
Spikes in numbers, and all I could find was because of coronavirus. So
right.
I was hoping that when they opened everything up, you're hoping everything's at the end, but you're doubtful.
Right.
And what I really thought would happen was if I started feeling like we're not at the end of this, then 1 week after the opening, suddenly everything was going to be A-okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'd feel like an idiot.
Right.
But instead, a couple weeks later, we had protesters and shit now. It's
weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Which is funny because we were making fun of all those people for protesting the coronavirus before the reopening. But that's a stupid protest.
That is a stupid protest.
You guys watch a YouTube video, cut your own hair, manicure your nails yourself. I'm sure you can figure it out.
Make your own brandy old fashions. It's fine.
Exactly. You take up a new hobby. What'd you learn in quarantine? I learned how to make 7 different types of brandy old fashions.
For real.
I can sweeten them with anything in your fridge.
Maple, soy sauce.
Yeah.
What do you need? What do you want?
Exactly. Or even, whatever the hell you want out in your community. Why don't you just figure out how to do that,
True. No, that's a good point. What have you learned in quarantine, Mr. Tabat?
I can speak only on my furlough weeks because I was in school for most of it.
Oh, sure.
And
you were doing some real learning.
Yeah, and I mean, what I learned there was that online classes are hard as hell.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy I passed them, at least for me. I was the only one towards the end of it that had my video camera on, and that was just to keep me honest.
Yeah.
So that way, I knew, people could see my dumb face on the screen. Otherwise, if I turned that off, I would probably just walk around,
right,
not caring,
Yeah, turn the speakers up and.
Yeah, exactly.
Pay half an ear's attention.
Well, making food or something, but no, it was all work and school there. Mm-hmm. But, first furlough week, I pretty much just spent that riding my motorcycle everywhere. That was kind of like the theme of that. So I didn't really learn a new skill.
Sure.
But
I still got out and about, though, which is good.
This furlough week seems to be all about fitness and meditation, which, boy, have I missed those two things. That's kind of like, now that school has transitioned out,
yeah,
I want to try if that half marathon's going down in September that Peter fucking Winarski was talking about, but has yet to give me any details.
For real.
I love you, Peter, but you got to get back to me. And if we're gonna run that half marathon, that's kind of what I decided was okay, now I need to remember how to run. So I guess I'm gonna learn how to run again.
There you go.
Find that 5 mile stretch where the runner's high kicks in.
There you go.
Other than that, I told you the float tank.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing.
I do want to experience that as well, from what you've been talking about and just hearing your experiences with it, and other people's experiences.
I'm still riding the high from Tuesday.
That's crazy.
I'm still, whatever I organized in my head is primo. I had a lot of personal things buzzing around.
Sure.
With friendships and whatnot.
Sure.
And when I got out of that, it was I knew all the answers, and I was I'm just gonna keep plugging away and bettering myself.
That's cool.
That's
cool. That's something that I think I definitely need in my life.
Have you ever meditated?
I've done the guided relaxations.
Okay, sure.
A handful of times, but nothing that's consistent or a go-to thing that that I do. I don't know.
Right.
The way my mind works, I need to research it and what's
Well,
the right thing I should be doing? What should I, this, that, and the other thing? And sometimes it's hard to kind of just
all you have to do,
let
man,
go, I guess.
just lay down on your floor in silence, count your breathing, and just pay attention to literally your breath. And occasionally what's going to happen is you're going to think about something stupid,
Sure.
Is the door locked? Did I this?
Constantly think about
When I said that to this person, did they think this? Like you'll start, like everything will start cycling through, but as long as you bring yourself back to your breathing, what happens for me is, like, the next step is I tell myself to forget that I have feet. It's really weird, but you forget that you have certain body limbs.
Sure.
And eventually, you work your way up. You won't be able to feel your feet. You're still focusing on your breathing.
Mm-hmm.
There's less of you to worry about. That's like less sensory stimulus.
Huh.
And then you move up to like your knees, and you forget everything from your knees down. And again, same thing that'll happen before as you like move along with this breathing.
Sure.
Is you're gonna think about something stupid, and it's gonna bonk you out, and you're gonna remember you have feet and legs, and and
Wait a minute.
for me, I'll get bummed every time my toes come back, man. But yeah, then you keep working up, until eventually all you are is your face and what your breathing is.
Dang.
And you just focus on that, and it slowly, it's like it takes over your whole body, and once that happens, it's like you're floating in a pool of consciousness.
Dang.
And in the tank, it gets rid of all the other stimulus like around you. So it's really lazy man's meditation in a way, but I don't know. I call it cosmic phone booth because it's just so fucking.
Hell yeah.
It's so nice to get in there, and all you do is just immediately start on your breathing. You can't feel what parts of your body are floating above the surface of the water,
Sure.
and what parts are submerged. You don't know where that line is, wherever the two meet each other, submerged and above.
Dang.
And when that happens, you're gone. You're floating free. And if you want to call that relaxation, I call it a meditative experience. It really, really, really helps. And once you reach that, that's when you can start filing things in your head, and it's super nice, Like, another thing I used to do to practice, and this was in the Navy, there was one of our common rooms had this loud old like vending machine that the compressor was always humming along in. Yeah. And whenever I was having a rough one, I would go into that room, and you could lock. There were two doors. It was kind of like, it was like a center room in the barracks, and the hallways went around it. So there were two openings to get into it.
Yeah.
And you could close those and lock them. And I would close them. I'd turn off the lights, and I'd lay next to that clunky ass vending machine just humming away.
Huh.
And I would lay there and focus on my breathing until I couldn't hear the vending machine.
Oh, dang.
And once that happened, that's when I knew I could start working through all my limbs, because I knew that external stimulus was gone.
Yeah.
And there, too, I would get pissed because all of a sudden you think of something, or that one time when you were 6, or whatever the hell pops in your head.
It sounds like somebody just cranked it back up.
Yeah. And then that compressor comes humming right back in, and you got to focus that back out, So
Dang.
It's cool. And, like, I don't know. If you're ever interested in it, I just lay on the floor. That's all. Like, I still just prefer to lay on the floor instead of like the whole sit cross-leg thing.
Sure.
It's more comfortable. I feel more in line, but.
Dang. I'll have to try that out.
Hell yeah.
So I know there's definitely been, at least trying it in the past and just following like YouTube videos where they,
Oh yeah.
just tell you what you should be concentrating on, and you're just concentrating on that. But yeah, definitely laying down, and I think I did do it on the floor because I don't know, something about the floor I find very comforting as well.
I'm a floor dweller, man. I sleep on the floor everywhere we go.
Oh yeah,
you can have the couch. We're crashing here. I'll take the floor.
For real.
Yeah.
You can ask Missy. We'll be watching a movie or something, and I'll just like slide onto the floor.
Yeah.
But
you're grounded.
For real. But no, I definitely have experienced some sort of, super relaxation, we'll call it. Where
It's weird.
Yeah, you almost like catch yourself and like shake and like, whoa, wait a minute.
You'll jolt
And,
yourself
like,
out of it. Yeah.
back, yeah. And yeah, you just kind of feel like you start falling through the floor, which is a weird feeling.
That's exactly it. Yeah. You suddenly don't know where the boundaries are in the physical world. And it's I think it's just because you're telling your brain not to focus on that shit. You really get inside your own head.
Yeah.
And guided meditation, if anybody listening to this is interested in a really, really good astral travel guided meditation, just type in the Crystal Lake on YouTube. That's literally something from high school that I used to listen to. Luke turned me on to it when he was big into that. And that one stuck with me. I can listen to that. I listened to it last week. Recently, I've listened to it, and every single time I will snap into this super deep state of relaxed meditation. I can pull myself out of my body, if you will. Very, very crazy.
That's
you
cool.
know. And you sound crazy talking about it too.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Sure. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Luke back in the day, my friend Luke Miller, he used to, always do like astral projections or like, those guided meditations. And I remember there was one.
I credit Luke. Sorry, I credit Luke with turning me on to meditation, because at the time I was doing a lot of psychedelics, and I thought that was the way to get out of your body.
Sure.
And he recommended meditation to me, particularly astral travel guided meditation. And that's where I got it from.
Took it off. Dang.
Sorry, man.
That's awesome. But no, I was gonna say there was one memory that I had where he was telling me about astral projections, and then he told me that he astral projected to me at my parents' house, and I don't think he had ever been like in my room or anything before.
Yeah.
Maybe he has. I don't know. I want to say he hadn't. But he told me that on my bookshelf there was like a blue turtle, I think it was.
Yeah.
And sure as shit, I do have like it's like a ceramic blue turtle where you can take the shell off.
Yeah.
And like he told me, he was just like, yeah, I saw it in your room. Like it's on your bookshelf.
Well,
there.
it's...
And I was like, whoa, wait, what?
I
believe
really
it. Weird, but like, yeah, he's like, trust me, man, like it's like not to be like creepy or anything, but like it works. Like if you think about things enough or like get into that zone, you can.
Oh yeah. That's the whole reason I started it, was because he was like, we can talk to each other with this.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is crazy, but you're young, whatever.
Sure.
Start reading about it, and you can put yourself places. Particularly the last place I put myself was my great-grandparents' house, and I have no idea why I ended up there.
Huh.
They're both long dead.
Sure.
But I walked in, it was a duplex, and I shit you not, like, I could smell the smells of, like, this is going to sound weird, but of, like, my grandparents' place, or, like, my great-grandparents on the lower level.
Sure.
But then I could also smell, like, the family that was living above, like the two different, like on in the entry hallway,
Yeah.
like in an apartment building, you can kind of smell everybody that lives there,
Yeah.
but it's just a generic scent.
Yeah.
But I could smell the two while I was doing it, and I walked down the hallway, I went into the basement.
Dang.
I could see everything that was there. It was crazy, but obviously I'm sure that place has changed, so that was all memory based.
Sure.
But other things that I've done is like
Well, it's crazy that it can stimulate those different senses too.
That is nuts. I never thought about that.
You're not just seeing, so to speak, that. You're also smelling it, or I don't know if you've ever tasted anything.
I can't say I've ever tasted anything.
touched
A lot of
anything.
smells, though. A lot of smells,
Lot of
touches,
smells.
sure. Yeah.
Huh.
Railings, like when you're going upstairs.
Yeah.
But then again, you can also just pull yourself out of that. It's fucking nuts. You can fly out of there,
Right.
It's really, really weird, but it's like everything that you create, like as you're meditating, it's like a rendering that's constantly happening. So it almost feels like wherever I go, I don't know how to explain
Behind
that. Like
you disappears, but in front of you keeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's almost like, okay, now what was behind me doesn't matter. So you can open up a door
Yeah.
let's say even in your house, we open up your front door and you walk out into a sandy beach
Sure.
while you're doing this. You can transition that quick.
Yeah.
You know, I'm balls deep in astral travel, man. Like it.
No, it's cool stuff though, for real.
And it also, you know, just puts my mind at ease.
Yeah.
You know, nothing bad's ever happened, nothing crazy.
Right.
You know.
Right.
It's
You're
cool.
Just in your own mind.
When I was in the Navy, I gave a guy a book, and I'm gonna reserve some details here, or hold back on some of them. But I gave him this book on astral projection and another book on basic meditation.
Sure.
Literally, I had just bought both those books maybe a month earlier. I read through them super quick because I was so stoked to have, like, I'd never had anything like a guide, a book,
Right.
a tangible book that tells you here's how to do it or here's what to do.
Yeah.
And I was super pumped. I read through all of them, and I started using some of the things that were in the books, and I started talking about them at work, and this guy got really interested. And so I thought, you know, hey man, I'll let you borrow these.
Yeah.
And then I told him the same meditation. I told him the Crystal Lake meditation.
Dang.
And, you know, listen to that first, then read the books and try to, you know, improve your experience
Yeah.
with the guided meditation before you do self-meditation. And gave them to him. That night I got a text, bro, what the fuck did you tell me to watch or listen to?
Oh, dang.
And I was like, what? What's wrong? He's like, this shit is weird as shit. You know, he was just, he was
Not
shook.
into it? Oh, really?
Yeah, he was really, really shook. And I was like, I don't know, man, you know, what's going on? And he's like, I don't know how to explain this. This can't be real. I also think he was deeply religious. So I think that kind of freaked him out because he said something about it being like sacrilegious or I don't know what it was, disrespectful to. And I was like, dude, it's just meditation. It's all in your mind. So whatever you're seeing
Right.
is
It's
on
on
you
you.
as far as science can say. Like,
For real.
you're just having dreams while you're awake. It's not real. Well, either way, the next fucking day, I asked the guy back. I was like, hey man, sorry you didn't, you know,
Enjoy your experience.
yeah, I didn't mean to like freak you out. Can I get my books back? Oh, I threw those away.
What?
I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, pitched my books. So
Dick.
I don't know, scared the shit out of them, but
Damn.
not me. I'm safe in my head.
For real.
So,
Damn.
but that was like a really big turn. I was like, come on, man. So I never bought them again. Just
Yeah.
I'll just keep doing what I'm
They're
doing.
gone. Yeah. Jeez. That's funny. No, something I was playing this game the other day. It's called Hue, H-U-E.
Okay.
And it's all about like colors, and it's like a puzzle game. And it's cool. They had this like overarching like narrative to the whole thing. And it's
Okay.
all about this like scientist lady who was trying to discover new colors and all that sort of stuff. But it was, I don't know, it got me thinking because she said something in there along the lines of every civilization's, like some of their first words are black and white, or like lightness and darkness.
Okay, sure, to
And-
recognize that.
Yeah, and like you go through the game and you like collect colors, I guess, and it like reveals more and more stuff. And one of the things that she said was like people or civilizations assign words to colors and to things that they can see. But what about all the things that you can't see? Would they be existent if, since there's no word assigned
Right.
to it, or like anything like that? And I think we had a similar discussion before of like, what if you could see photons? What if you could see, you know, all these different spectrums of light and like the full spectrum? And they say even like the mantis shrimp, for instance, can see like 250 times more colors than we can.
Jesus.
And it's like, well, wait a minute, what?
There's more colors
more
than
than
what
this?
we're experiencing?
For real. But I don't know, just you talking about the like meditation and astral projections brought me back to that. And just like, I don't know,
Seeing
It's
things that
may
are real, maybe real.
be real, but aren't in your
Well, the limitations of the human
conscious.
eye, right?
Yeah.
You know, that comes down to what do we have, what tools do our bodies have that allow us to pick up on, you know, or perceive the environment around us.
Yeah. Some of us have more limitations than others.
Exactly.
As I pull my glasses.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day at Whitewater in college with I went there with Max Budiak. We were roommates our freshman year, and I don't remember what we were talking about, but it came to the point where we were talking, and like I came to the conclusion that like if I was born back in like Jesus times, for instance, that I would be so fucked because I can't see.
Oh boy.
Because they didn't have glasses back then.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd be like a lay person.
You would actually.
Seriously.
You would be a simpleton.
Yeah.
Because you can't see.
Because I can't see.
That is nuts to think about.
Yeah.
That would probably be one of those, like, I don't know, limitations that would literally make you retarded. I mean, can I say it? But like by today's standard, you know what I mean? Like it would be a
Right.
It'd set you back enough.
What are you gonna do? Woodwork from here?
Well, that's what you got to go talk to Recris, man. He heals the blind.
True. I have to go travel to him.
He was the original optometrist.
True.
They don't say that in the Bible.
He was.
He was healing the blind, man. He's an optometrist. He started that field for everybody. What a great guy.
What a great guy.
He was a real businessman.
For real. We should build churches about that. Maybe there is. Maybe that's what the Illuminati is.
Oh, boy. I don't know. What's the Illuminati up to today? Because you remember when that was like all the rage?
They're distracting the public with coronavirus.
Oh, boy.
I'm just kidding.
And covering up Jeffrey Epstein's bullshit.
For real. No, that was all the rage, and I mean, it could exist. I have no idea.
It was like a conspiracy fad that blew through. I mean,
there is some...
I'm sure there's some secret organization out there doing stuff. Danny, you want to join my cult?
No.
Come on, man.
No.
Can I read you the sales pitch?
Sure, hit me.
Give me a second.
Join my cult.
I don't know.
I'm good on the cult. But no, I mean, it is interesting to think about that there are some ultra rich elite people out there.
I can't find it fast enough.
And what kind of strings are they able to pull? They say that Jeff Bezos, the guy who owns Amazon, is going to be the first trillionaire. $1 trillion.
That's a lot of money.
$1 trillion.
You can't even fucking figure out how much money that is.
I will never see that amount of money in my life.
No.
I don't think even adding up everything that I can see in my life is not worth that much. All the houses, all the buildings, all the cars, all the everything.
I think that's a stretch. I think that you
$1
probably
trillion?
In your life you have witnessed a $1 trillion worth of something, but like infrastructure, if you count infrastructure, hell yeah, but
that's true.
But you'll never see $1 trillion if you added up everything you ever made or probably owned in your life.
Oh, definitely not.
You know,
not even close.
Yeah,
not even close to $1 billion.
Yeah, that is too much fucking money.
$1 trillion.
And he still can't treat his workers right.
Well, that's the thing. What kind of pull does he have with the government and officials, and what kind of laws is he able to bypass or pass to help his business? I mean, when you have $1 trillion, you can throw money at anything.
Yeah.
And you have everything. Except happiness, I hear. I think I'd be pretty happy with $1 trillion, though.
I don't know. I think you can buy happiness. I don't think you can buy love.
I don't think you can buy love.
You can definitely buy happiness, though.
I've never had an escort, though. I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow.
Just kidding.
Let's not play Never Have I Ever on that one. But, yeah, you could definitely buy happiness. You know, like, what would happen? So, if you won the lottery...
Sure.
Do you know how fast I would be asking you for money? Like, just me. And, like, we're friends. You know what I mean? I'd be like, bro, you need to help me out. My car is falling apart.
I could use $10,000.
I just need,
right now.
I just need this.
Yeah.
Like, not even, like, it would just, I would, honestly, that's, like, root honesty. I would be asking so fast. So, like, I think in Wisconsin, you have to actually announce, like, you have to give out your name when you win. Yeah. You can't take it anonymously.
Really?
Yeah. So, Daniel Bogner just won.
Dang.
Yeah.
$20 million from the Citgo in Germantown.
$20 million. Dude, I think it's...
A few hundred million.
I think it's up there. Yeah. Because, like, at work, we got pools going. But, I mean, like, how fast would you have just cockroaches, people looking for something? And then how fast would you have to bug out? You know, because now you have to have a new social circle.
Yeah.
You know, like, that is just so weird how... I mean, you don't have to, but I would imagine the stress of saying no all the time would become enough that you're like, I gotta bounce. Like, this is...
Yeah, that's a good point.
Much less $1 trillion. That guy's got pulling some change. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
He could buy countries.
Yeah. It's crazy. Dude, I recently heard the backstory on Amazon, too. It's like something, he was doing one job, which I want to say it was a lawyer.
Sure.
And then he started up just this book selling company.
Yeah.
And now it is what it is today.
Yeah, they were one of the first online stores. I think it was the first online store.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just books.
Just books.
Just books. Which even to this day, I will give Amazon credit. Their book selection, obviously, impeccable.
It's crazy,
but what I like the most about it is you can, like, for the majority of the books, you can, like, peek inside.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You can, like, actually page through the first, like, chapter.
Yeah.
Of whatever and be like, oh, yeah, I can get into this.
Yeah, they do a pretty good job there. Well, I'll put it this way. I haven't bought a book off Barnes & Noble's website in forever.
No.
Straight to Amazon.
Yeah.
Or Half Price Books.
Half Price Books, I love that store.
That is a wicked store.
And their online store as well.
Yeah, well, because their online store, they'll ship it to whatever store you got to pick it up at.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
they do good stuff. For real. Otherwise, I was actually talking to my dad about that as well, about Jeff Bezos becoming the first trillionaire, and how do you, I mean, not how do you stop it, but how do you compete?
You compete with what? Like his personal wealth or his company's wealth?
Both.
Or you don't.
I mean, you can't.
Somebody's got to be top dog somewhere.
It's kind of gotten out of control.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We were talking, and we're like, well, the only way to really do it is to, buy from mom and pop shops or whatever. And
you know what? Okay.
And what we kind of came to the conclusion about as well is
boycott Amazon.
Boycott Amazon, no. But you can't. Try and boycott Amazon. It's hard.
Yeah.
But no, actually, we were talking about eBay. And that there's a lot of sellers on eBay that have their own personal stores, so to speak.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that quite a bit.
And people often give eBay kind of a bad rap that, it's all just used stuff. Or like, it's all just crap you don't need and collectibles or whatever.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I almost go to eBay first now. Unless it's something stupid like, I need, coat hooks or something like that. But if it's something that like, I need a record, for instance, I'll go to eBay first, 100%.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Good selection?
They have everything.
Oh.
Because it's everybody able to sell on that, and they only have to sell one thing if they really wanted to, unlike Amazon, where I think it's kind of like a Walmart sort of deal, where, for instance, if I wanted to buy like a mouse off of Amazon, a computer mouse, all those top selections that you see are actually companies that are bidding for those places.
Sure.
And in the order that you see them as well. And Amazon obviously is just going to be like, well, whoever has the lowest price and gives us the most money, like, yeah, you're on top here. And that's why you see a lot of I hate to say, but Chinese crap on there.
Oh man.
And you need to actually kind of sort through the comments or, whatever, the ratings, the reviews. To
I was going to
see,
say, if
like,
you're not
is
reading the
this a piece of
comments and the
crap?
reviews,
Yeah.
the reviews, yeah, you're doing yourself a mad injustice.
However, I have also bought things that came with like a little card, or you get an email back after you buy it that says, if you rate us 5 stars or whatever and leave a product review, like we'll send you another whatever you ordered. I did that. I bought an Xbox and that Xbox controller that's connected into my computer there. They sent me. They're like, well, if you leave us a rating and like screenshot that you like posted a review, we'll send you another one like free of charge. I was like, well, sure, why not?
Where's the duplicate?
It's in the living room.
Oh, okay, sure.
And
Well, that's kind of cool.
yeah. So I was just like, well, shit, I just got 2 for 1. Thankfully, they're good and they work.
I know a guy at my work did that, but
But you can also buy reviews, is what the point I'm trying to
oh,
make.
sure, yeah. Well, okay, even worse than buying reviews, all that Chinese crap, the reason why you have to scroll through thousands and thousands of reviews to get to one guy who's like, hey, this is crap. This
Right.
is clearly just... I bought headphones for running.
Sure.
I bought some headphones that I thought were going to be like the bee's knees.
Yeah.
And come to find out that Chinese crap.
Sure.
And the reason, though, is they actually have banks of servers that are just
just
cranking
flooding
out.
them?
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
even people.
Yeah.
They're just they just generate bullshit reviews.
Yep.
It's fucking crazy.
That's why I always go for the negative reviews first.
Dude, you and me both.
Is
Yeah.
it somebody who is dumb and just bought the wrong thing?
Yeah.
Or is it like, hey, do not buy this?
That's usually
Like,
what
this
it could
is-
be. I thought that it was going to be this, but it was this. And then you scroll up and you're like, yeah, that's what it says. So I don't know why you bought this.
This didn't fit where
Yeah.
I needed it to fit.
Or it's somebody who's like, hey, this is crap.
For
Yeah.
real.
With some pictures of like broken parts. And you're like, yeah, I don't want that.
For real. For real. But I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to topple the Amazon giant at all.
Buy locally. I kind of like that one.
Buy locally.
I don't think I'm
but-
gonna buy. I'm gonna try to buy more shit locally. Actually, I haven't bought a lot off Amazon recently.
I haven't.
I haven't
either.
bought much. I'm kind of good. I'm kind of comfortable with the amount of crap I own.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
So you still
Free. I was a student.
are students.
What?
Are you still a student?
No,
Oh, yeah.
but they haven't canceled my shit yet, so
Fair enough.
I'm not paying for it.
There you go.
So there we go. I'll take that. I'm boycotting and I'm costing Jeff Bezos $30 a month or whatever it is.
For real.
I'm gonna whittle away at that $1 trillion.
Hey, you do you.
In the meantime, everybody buy locally.
I mean, yeah, I try to as much as I can buy locally, but I don't know. That's kind of a weird thing to say because what does buy locally mean?
Well, if you go to a brick and mortar, well, yeah, okay,
If I
but
go to Walmart, is that buying locally?
no,
If I go to Best Buy, is that buying locally?
nope.
There's not too many.
Gotta get
local
down there in
shops.
the third ward at all those
For real.
mom and pop stores.
For real. But I don't know. I try to, restaurants especially, try to stay away from chains, at least. Because that's, it's not against Amazon by any means, but it is a entrepreneur or like a business person within
Yeah.
the community that is, trying to start something. Sorry, Buffalo Wild Wings. Boycott.
Man, I'm not even a big fan of B-dubs anymore. I had a good phase with that.
Yeah,
I like the wings that you were cooking up.
that I was cooking up.
It was a while ago. You did this in Cedarburg.
Oh, in Cedarburg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a couple of Packer games. Oh.
Packer games or the Super Bowl? Hell yeah.
When are sports going to start up again?
Soon.
Really, that's a thing?
Yes, I believe golf has started.
Oh, oh. Woo! I've been dying to get my golf clap
Hey,
on
it's
in my
something-
living room.
It's something better than nothing. Soccer has been going on, at least in Europe,
Sure.
which is cool. They play with no crowds. at
Yeah.
all. Otherwise, I think the NBA is starting back up, I believe, in September. And it's really weird because I believe there's 32 teams within the NBA, and they've literally played 90% of the season already.
Damn.
And instead of taking all 32 teams back, they whittled it down to the 22 that are in the hunt, so to speak, for like the playoffs.
Okay.
And they're all going to play in Orlando. So not even like I can't go to a Bucks game in Milwaukee, even though the Bucks actually are the number 1 seed right now. Like
really?
They were doing the best throughout the whole year.
I didn't know that the Bucks were having a good year.
Oh, they were like favored to win the championship, which stinks because it's like, well, shoot, like I want to enjoy that in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I want to have this buzz in Milwaukee, not, oh, they're playing in Orlando. You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
Where I can't even see them. But I think they're going to play in fanless stadiums. And yeah, just kind of do a whole playoff, I guess, and crown a champion of the season.
Okay. Well, at least you still get to see it.
Still get to see it. Yeah.
At least, like, when you watch basketball games and nobody's talking or there's no audience, the sound of them playing is entertaining. I think I told you.
Yeah,
it might
screeches on the floor and like
the screeches. Yeah,
just the ball dribbling and
like that'll still be entertaining to watch. But like early on in quarantine, I don't know if I said it on here or just to you privately or whatever when we were talking, but I watched. Just because I turned on the TV and it was on. I hate WWE, but it was on.
Sure.
And there was no audience.
Oh,
and
really?
it was the cringiest thing to watch ever. Because they were still trying, like, without the roar of the white trash crowd in the background.
I mean, half the match is them just putting their arms
throwing
up
their arms
like,
up and cheering.
Do you guys see that?
Yeah. So, like, they would do that, and then they would just, rah! And you're like, no, man, like, I can hear you.
Dang.
Like,
that's funny.
Yeah, it was super weird. Or like all the trash talk that they were having, there was no like ooh in the background or anything. And I watched the whole thing. First time I've ever watched WWE just so I could laugh.
That is hilarious. I'll have to check that out.
It was comedy, man.
For real.
Don't check it out. You do not need to check that out. It was
check
just
it out for a minute.
I'm just saying basketball is going to be way more entertaining with no crowd because there's actually something going on. It's not a bunch of
Neanderthals just
adults acting
for real
crazy.
But no, I heard hockey's starting back up soon, hopefully. Again, crowdless. I don't know why baseball hasn't started up. They could easily do that.
Well, that's why I was thinking, like, with sports, because right now would be baseball season.
Baseball.
So,
baseball, tennis, golf. Yep. This would be, well, right now should be the NFL, or I'm sorry, the NBA and the NHL playoffs would be happening, like, now. But then, yeah, July and August are lull months of just baseball, tennis, and golf.
Okay.
And NASCAR, I guess.
Did you see bowling's open now?
Bowling's open?
Yeah, we can go bowling.
Oh,
it's a thing. Dude at my work, I was bitching about it, and he was like, I took my kids last weekend.
What?
I was like, no shit. And then I checked it out. Village Bowl, open till 10 p.m.
Wow.
There's New Berlin Ale House open. Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to go.
So.
Dang. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
That might be a thing, even though that's a winter activity for us, but
still,
it might be something to go do.
I haven't bowled in a while.
For real.
Still something to do. Dang, that's awesome. I wonder how they do that.
He said they were spacing them out and only a few, like...
Do they clean the balls after you use them?
I don't know. He didn't say that, but he said that it was limited to like 10 people and like you had your own lane and then there was a lane between. So 6 feet probably, roughly, sure. A bowling lane. I'm sure that's like 6 feet.
Sure.
So plus gutters.
Oh, yeah. Dang. That's cool. I'm going to say, if you ever want to boost your immune system, go to a bowling
alley. Yeah.
Start bowling and wiping your face.
Well, that was like after this whole thing kind of broke out. That was kind of like my first thought. I was like, oh shit, we've been going to like one of the dirtiest I would assume bowling alleys are pretty gross.
I would
Places
guarantee that.
all fall and into winter,
Yeah,
and then now this happens.
true. Thankfully, we have our own balls, so
Yeah, I gotta buy a
Some
new
sort
one
of
still. Mine
barrier
is
there.
cracked like nobody's business now.
for real.
It's real cracked.
Damn. Well, get on that.
Yeah, that's on the list.
I kind of want to get a new ball. I don't know if I like my ball. I'll think about it.
Get yourself your Green Bay Packer ball.
I need it. Well, no, I want like an actual ball,
What?
not a. Well, I think the ball that I got is a spare ball, technically.
No, it's not.
I'm
That's
pretty
not a spare ball.
Really?
Yeah, that's got a.
Core in it?
I
Or
looked it
whatever?
up. Yeah, it's got a core. It's not a solid core. I think you have a. I can't remember the name, but it's shaped like a rivet almost.
Hmm.
And you throw that ball beautifully,
Decently,
bro.
I guess. Don't blame the ball.
What was your first game?
Blame the technique.
Yeah, what was your first game? Like 170 with it or something, or 180?
Yeah, that is true.
It was you just bought it, and then we were like, yeah, let's go throw it, and you whooped me, and I couldn't believe it.
That is true.
Or
That
no,
is
you
true.
might even 200s.
Maybe.
You might it was something crazy, and I couldn't believe it.
Dude, I'll never forget. My best game of bowling was actually in Whitewater. Me, Gary, and Max would go Friday mornings after me and Gary would have a chemistry lab from I think it was from 8 in the morning till 11 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then, or no, it must have been earlier. Must have been 7 to 10 because we could catch the tail end of breakfast because they served breakfast in whatever common area there was. It's like a breakfast buffet. And then right downstairs from there was a bowling alley. And it was always free on Fridays before 5 o'clock or whatever. So we'd eat breakfast, go throw some games. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, all right, well, that's all we have to do for Friday. Let's go party.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I remember the highest score that I ever had, I think I had a 257 was my best. And
That's a ripper.
oh, it was wild. Had
Yeah.
a bunch of turkeys in there, 4 strikes in a row. I don't
Were you
remember-
cheering, or were you doing your typical slow walk-off, Danny?
Oh, I was getting hyped.
Because I would get hyped.
I was getting
I'd be hyped for you.
Oh yeah, I was getting real hyped. But no, that's how you got to be cool. is
I've
do
never
something
hit-
awesome and walk away.
Well, yeah. You just leave it. You do the thing, and you just walk away.
Exactly.
But I've never broke 200 or hit 200.
Never?
Uh-uh.
Really? I
Uh-uh.
thought you. What last time we went bowling? I thought you were up there. You whooped my ass.
I know
That's for
last
sure.
time I was killing it, but I didn't break 200, I don't think. Unless for some reason the number 212 sticks with me, but
That was the number that I had in my mind.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, well then maybe I did it and I just
Feel
don't
like you
remember.
did, yeah.
That's crazy that you had the same number. All right.
It was yeah.
I broke 200. I've done it.
You've done it.
I've never broke 250.
Fair.
But
Fair.
yeah, I know last time 6 months ago
Yeah.
I fucking crushed you.
Yeah.
And then you were saying you needed a new ball.
Yeah. I blame the ball, not the technique.
You should look that up though. And I've read enough about bowling balls.
I'd have to see it.
If you're looking for something,
Yeah.
or go to a pro shop and talk to them.
Yeah. Tell them how you throw, and I should be able to recommend something for sure.
Yeah, because I'm just gonna toss that one. I asked a guy if he could patch it, but where it cracked right between in the bridge, it's just too much. I have, instead of having 2 finger holes and a thumb hole, I have like a double finger slot.
For real.
What a great sentence. But either way, I got that and a thumb hole.
Stop doing that motion.
What? That's how I bowl. But yeah, the guy said that it would be too much, so I
Yeah.
was like,
Might as well just get a new ball.
yep.
Well, didn't you get that from your grandpa? Was it? No.
Both my balls are hand-me-downs. The purple ball, that's like my spare ball, if you will.
Sure.
That's from my great-grandpa. Actually, the great-grandpa, the house I was talking about, him.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. He always liked to bowl, and...
Keep talking. I gotta pee.
Oh, okay. Well, then it'll be my turn. But yeah, my great grandfather always liked the bowl, and when he passed away, I don't know why, but I think I must have been like 14 or something like that. I was young, and nobody wanted the ball, and it felt like something. I don't know. It was kind of sentimental, so I decided to keep it. But are you still talking to me? All right, well, I'm going to keep going. And then the hammer, the burgundy ball I got, that one is from a buddy of my dad's, Kent. He's a big bowler, and he gave me 2 balls for free. I gave one to a friend of mine, and I kept the one that I thought I liked better. And I think it was like maybe my 4th or 5th game I threw it, and it was already starting to crack. I was like, man, that sucks. But, I mean, there's also rules to keeping good care of your bowling balls. You know, keeping them in your trunk throughout a polar vortex in Wisconsin, probably not the wisest decision. But
For real. I was just thinking about that. I've had my bowling ball in my trunk for forever.
yeah, but yours is also brand new. Like
That's true.
those holes were drilled for your fingers
True.
into the ball. Like the one that I got that I love, that's cracking. There's holes in there that have been plugged and patched, and
Sure.
there's like a counterbalance hole or a weight. I don't know what you call it, balance hole.
Counterbalance.
Yeah, in it too.
Dang.
Which maybe I don't need that, so I want to get my fresh ball,
I feel you.
and then I'll have that and my great grandpa's ball, and that'll be good.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm gonna use the restroom.
You go pee. For real. One thing that while he's peeing, I'll talk about, because he was talking about his great grandpa's hand-me-down bowling ball, which is very cool that he was able to claim that and have, and it got me thinking about my grandfather passed away a number of years ago. I don't know the specific number, unfortunately, off the top of my head, but I remember my mom came home with a bunch of his stuff that it was kind of like free claim, like, to me and my brother, do you guys want any of this? And one of the things that I took was it's going to be hard to explain, but like the old like milk canisters that they used to like deliver to like your door front in the morning. I only know just because of, TV and cartoons. Remember Fred Flintstone would get his milk delivered in like a little crate to his front doorstep. But one of those milk containers, if you were to blow that up to be about 3 feet tall, it's actually, I have one, and I use it as a coin holder. This thing is, I kid you not, probably weighs a good 20 pounds, just solid glass, and it's right now filled probably a quarter of the way with coins. Welcome back. I don't know if you could hear me talking.
I could not. I think you had the door open. I left it closed.
Fair enough.
Missy's home.
Oh, yeah.
Are you saving pennies?
No. I was just talking about. Well, you were talking about that you got your bowling ball kind of handed down to you, or you claimed it.
Oh yeah.
After your great grandfather, and then I was thinking about things that were handed down to me. And one of the things that stood out to me, I had this like giant, like the back in the day, like way back in the day, where you get like milk delivered to your doorstep.
Oh yeah.
Like in the 1950s, and they came in like those glass
milk bottles. Yeah.
I have a milk bottle, but it's like 3 feet tall and like solid glass. I can show it to you. But I use it as a coin holder. That's my coin bank.
Oh, so it's not solid glass.
It's solid glass. Oh, no, not all the way through. No.
That's what I'm saying.
You
Okay,
can
yeah.
put stuff into
it's a
it.
3 foot
Yes.
tall glass bottle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's your coin holder? Or
That's
you
my-
just stacking
that's
them
my
on
coin jar.
top?
No, it's for real.
If it's solid.
For real. But yeah, that's my coin jar. And that's one thing that I remember that I took from my grandpa. I don't know where he got that or why he had that. I think he probably used it as a coin holder as well.
I mean, that's a perfect thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You should just... How full is it?
Right now, probably, I said a quarter, probably a little less than a quarter.
Okay.
You'll see.
Because you know,
I guarantee you there's probably a few $100 in there.
yeah,
And
that's a great, because you also, because my problem when I start saving change,
sure.
I do it all the time, is it gets to a certain point and then I just start digging out handfuls of change and using it.
Sure.
Or I cash it, like,
Yeah.
at least, like, you probably can't get your hand down in there to get too...
I think I can get my hand in there, but it's hard to get out.
There you go. So, like, you cannot, once
that I've
those are in
tried,
there,
yeah.
and
Well, I mean,
you'll
you can
need
dump them out if you wanted to.
you'll need a fucking forklift to get it out of here once it's full.
Seriously. That
Yeah.
thing right now probably weighs close to 30 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Easily. And, yeah, it's probably filled up only that much. And it's got a lot to go.
Yeah, so once the whole
With
thing's
the
full...
whole thing full, yeah, that thing's going to weigh well over 100 pounds.
Better hope it's not on your upstairs level.
For real.
Is it?
I mean, right now, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Once it gets fuller, I might need to move it to the basement
Garage.
or the garage.
On a
Yeah,
pallet,
concrete.
strapped down, ready to go.
For real. Call the Brinks truck. I'm ready to take it
Yeah,
away.
there you go, dude. You need armed security.
For real. But no, I was trying to think of other things that were kind of passed down to me through the generations. I know I've got that. I've got a money clip, and also
I got a money clip that was passed down to me too, or I snagged.
Nice.
That it's actually in my bowling bag. Go figure. It's what I use for
nice.
like all our drink money and that card game we play when we're there.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so it just holds all my extra
Singles and whatnot.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I got that, and then a pocket watch that like clicks open and like folds open, which I don't know where a jeweler is or a clock winder person is.
A clocksmith. I don't know what they're
Clocksmith,
called.
Yeah.
The master of time.
Hickory dickory dock. I need to fix my clock. But it doesn't work. I think it needs to be rewound or however clocks work. I'm not really sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if you could just go to like a jewelry store like Kessler's and
I wonder.
ask them. And if they can't do it, I'm sure they know someplace you can go to have work done to it.
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of specialists out there. You'll see, actually, going back all the way back to watching Dark. There's a very important character who's a clockmaker.
Oh, well, thanks for ruining it because I saw a pocket watch already. So I don't know.
Oh, no, that's not it.
No? Okay, never mind. Never mind.
He's a clockmaker that doesn't make clocks.
Okay.
Spoilers.
I'm gonna keep watching it. I am interested now. I'm in.
Oh, it'll suck you in. Once the ball gets rolling with that show, oh, you're done. It's great. But yeah, no, I really want to get that fixed. That'd be cool. But yeah, looking to wind this up.
Yeah, what time did we start?
Damn, I'm liking these clock puns.
Wind this up.
I'm not sure, but I think we're gonna end it here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening in. If you made it this far,
Danny, thanks for having me again.
Of course. People, if you want to come on the show, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, I don't know what we'll talk about, blah, blah, blah. I kid you not, me and Tyler sat down, looked at each other, and said, you want to talk about anything in particular? No? All right.
I always say the same
Let's
thing.
just
I'm
do
just
it.
here to bullshit.
Exactly. So thank you very much for listening. We greatly appreciate it. Again, if you do want to come on, you're more than welcome. Anybody, more than welcome. I'll feed you. I'll give you drinks, whatever you want. I'm a great host. But thank you.
Both you and Missy are actually some of the best hosts ever.
Well, thank you. All right, everybody.
Peace.